Hello and welcome back to another lazy lesson. Wish you all a very happy new year. May you all have a great year filled with immense happiness and luck. Stay in good health and achieve greater heights of success. Wish you all a wonderful year ahead. So let us start today's topic. So recently the central government appointed General Bipin Rawat as India's first Chief of Defence Staff. Now if you see, CDS is a newly created post meant to enhance the quality of military advice to the political leadership through integration of service inputs. So in today's discussion, let us understand more about the Chief of Defence Staff, his functions, roles and the concerns it has given rise to. See, the CDS is a high-level military office that will oversee and coordinate the working of the existing three services, that is the Navy, Army and the Air Force. Basically, the CDS is meant to offer seamless tri-service views and single-point advice to the Defence Minister. And the advice will be on long-term defence planning and management. This includes manpower, equipment and strategy management, and above all, jointsmanship in operations. And this was very much necessary because so far the single point of advisory was missing. The chiefs of three individual forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force, would communicate directly to the Defence Minister or the Prime Minister. And this meant that there was no single point of communication between the chiefs and the executive. Now before understanding the roles and functions of a CDS, let us briefly understand the historical background. First of all, the recommendation for creating the post of Chief of Defence Staff was first made after the 1999 Kargil War. See, in the wake of the Kargil War, a high-level committee was set up to examine the gaps in the country's security system. And this committee recommended that the three services should have a Chief of Defence Staff. He shall be a 4-star military officer and shall be the single-point military advisor to the Defence Minister. And later on, in 2001, a group of ministers was formed to explore the necessary reforms required to improve India's overall national security. And this group also favored creating the post of Chief of Defence Staff. And finally in 2012, the Naresh Chandra Task Force recommended that a post of Permanent Chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee should be created. See, here the COSC or the Chiefs of Staff Committee would comprise all the chiefs, that is Indian Army Chief, Navy Chief and Air Force Chief. And the senior most among them would act as the chairman. Friends, if you look at the timeline, you will observe that it took nearly 20 years to create this post. Now why so much time was taken? See, one of the reasons why a decision on creating this post could not be taken in the past 20 years is that a political census could not be created on it. See, way back in 2001, the group of ministers which had favored CDS had said it should be done with political consensus and the government should not hurry up. But this consultation process somehow could not be completed because all the political parties were not responding in time. Now why the Chief of Defence Staff is called General Number 1? See, though he is a 4-star general like other three chiefs, he shall be the first among equals in the hierarchy. But please note here that the Army, Navy and IAF chiefs will have operational command of their forces. And the creation of CDS will not have any kind of impact on their operational command. The operational command means deploying units, reassigning forces and retaining tactical control authority. Such kind of operational commands shall remain with the existing chiefs. Now let us look at some of the roles and functions of the CDS. See, first of all, a new department called as Department of Military Affairs will be created within the Ministry of Defence. And the Chief of Defence Staff will head this department. Works exclusively pertaining to military matters will fall within the purview of the Department of Military Affairs, and the Department of Defence will deal with the larger issues pertaining to the defence of the country. And as per the government notification, this department will have the appropriate mix of civilian and military officers. And the government says that the aim of this department shall be to promote jointness in procurement, training and staffing for the services. And the CDS here shall be the principal military advisor to the Raksha Mantri on tri-services matters. However, this will not impact the role of the other three chiefs. They shall continue to advise the Defence Minister on matters exclusively concerning their respective services. And next, the CDS shall not exercise any military command, including over the three service chiefs, which means they are independent. In a way, he is a fourth military general who is high in priority. Next, the CDS shall administer tri-services organizations. This means tri-services agencies or organizations or commands related to cyber and space shall be under the administrative command of the CDS. See, one important thing here is that the CDS shall be the member of both Defense Acquisition Council and Defense Planning Committee. Like you all know, the Defense Acquisition Council is headed by the Defense Minister, and its objective is to ensure expeditious procurement of the approved requirement of the armed forces. And similarly, the Defense Planning Committee is headed by the National Security Advisor of India. And next, the CDS shall evaluate plans for out-of-area contingencies. Besides, he shall also be responsible for the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. And next, the CDS shall also implement 5-year defense capital acquisition plan and 2-year roll-on annual acquisition plans. Now, is it India alone to have such a post? No, several countries around the world have such a post. See, for example, in the United States, we have Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In UK, he is called as Chief of the Defence Staff. And in Australia, he is called as the Chief of the Defence Force. Now that we have a chief, that is a CDS, what next? See, next the government should focus on setting up unified or theatre commands with all military assets in a region under a single operational commander. And such a unified theatre is necessary for a greater offensive punch from limited resources in the years ahead. Now, apart from being much more cost effective, these theatre commands are required for the conduct of synergized land, air, sea operations with unity of command in modern day warfare. See guys, at present India has 17 single service commands and only 2 tri-service commands in the shape of the Andaman Nicobar Command and the Strategic Forces Command. Andaman and Nicobar Command is a theatre or regional command, whereas the Strategic Forces Command handles the nuclear weapons. Now, based on today's discussion, let us try to solve a question from prelims perspective. Consider the following statements. 1. CDS will be a 5-star military general. The CDS shall directly report to the Defense Secretary. Which of the above statements is or are correct? You can comment your answers in the comment section below. That's it for today. Thank you.